There you go. I think there's a delay though. There is a delay. I think there's a delay. Like there's no way you can get the delay. Wait, let me pop the chat out real quick. Pop the chat out. Hey, what is up guys? So today we're gonna talk about ticker symbol MMAT, where technical analysis doesn't matter, and we throw all fundamentals out of the window, boys. So I guess a lot of you are here because you really wanna hear like the logic behind the $100 million goose chase, and here it is. I will sort of lay out like why there is $100 million missing. Hey dude, what's with the salty take on the 100 million with Sterling? It's not really like a salty take. We're just asking George a question on Twitter. We're like in desperate need of seeking answer, because you can't just park $100 million in cash somewhere and not letting us know. So we're just asking a question, and I think Sterling just jumped on the wagon and trying to sort of explain for George, but turned out that Sterling is a great guy and number 2 loves him. Number 2, don't you love Sterling?
Love him.
There, here you see. Number 2 loves Sterling. So then turns out that Sterling decided to jump on the wagon and answer the question, but with data that does not supported by SEC filing. Again, everything we say on the channel are supported by data and filing that we got from SEC and from the data generated from models and all this kind of stuff. So if you have any questions, we can explain things. There are certain confidential or proprietary data you probably can only find it on Patreon when it's set up. And also there are proportion of some insider information, quote unquote insider information, that I cannot disclose. And the 100 million goes like this, okay? So you have $250 million at the market offering, and on the balance sheet we can only see about 150 million. Hey, what is up? We're in California. That's great. Thank you for watching us. It's probably around like 10 o'clock at your place, right? In New York. So and a lot of people are like, oh, that accounted for $90 million nanotech acquisition. But no, remember when did we acquire nanotech? We acquired it around August. I think August or late July or whatever. That's already in Q3, guys. The Q2 balance sheet, the end date for Q2 balance sheet is literally 5 days after merger close. They haven't acquired nanotech yet. Therefore, if you look at that, then we have to wonder where the $100 million go. Right? What are some possibilities? There are 3 other possibilities I can think about, and I hope that I hope we're wrong on where they park the 100 million, or I hope our hypothesis is wrong, because we don't want this stock to go down, because we both hold the positions as we talked about in our previous videos, and it's really just unfair for a lot of people to hate on us, especially when we're literally speaking the truth here. All of our hypotheses, all of our positions, all of our things that we talk about on YouTube are all supported by data and supported by mathematics. That's like pure mathematics behind it. And I'm so sorry, Sterling, that it's kind of weird that Sterling doesn't call us out when he replied to our tweet and claim that he doesn't watch our video, but he kind of does. Other than that, how does he know that we actually tweeted? But in his tweet, I'll just show you guys right now. Do we have the tweet here? Sterling Stocks Twitter. I'll put it real quick. Also, is my audio okay? If it's okay, just let me know. If it's not, also let me know. So if we go to Sterling's thing and he says there's no actual money missing, they close the 140 million offering announcement, another 100 million offering to be used as needed. First of all, at the market offering doesn't work on the as needed basis. It works on how the underwriters sell. So Torch has no control over how the underwriters sell their shares. they already assigned the shares to the underwriters. Does that make sense? If you have a question, just put it on chat. I'm gonna go over it pretty quick. And also, they did 100 million. Oh, let me show you guys how do you find those informations, or more like where do you find those information? They're all on the SEC filings, guys. I mean, those are all public information. And we look at on like all of the 42.4B5 here, okay? You will see at here, it offered, the price offering is 100 million, right? There's no dispute here. And, I just want to correct Sterling just in case, people are doubting your credibility when you send that out. First of all, they do the 100 million offering first, and then they follow up with another 150 million. So I don't know where you get 140 million offering coming. Where does that number coming from? And yeah, I know number 2 is be like, stop being so mean to Sterling. I love him. Is that right, number 2?
Yeah.
Damn it, dude. Yeah, he's just shy. Also,
Still aggressive.
What's that?
Less aggressive.
Okay, yeah. He's saying I'm less aggressive, but yeah, I will be less aggressive. I'm so sorry. So yeah, so this should be 100 million is basically closed, and 150 million where they either forgot to file or didn't really disclose closely. Where did the 150 million add up offering the money go? So the 100 million is no doubt, right? It's already here, and it's confirmed in this file. If we go to right here, they up their antiques, right, to $250 million. You see, and then the price offering of 100 million is already sold. You see, and they up to 250 million, and so then we have the net of 150 million dollars that's in question. An additional, you see, an additional of 150 million aggregated offering price from original sales agreement. So they will get 250 million in total in cash on their balance sheet. Okay, let me read the comments real quick. Where do you see MMAT going this week? Good question. We were probably gonna answer that later on. And hello, brother. Hey, what is up? Hey, thank you so much for support. True Grizzle fan 22. What's up? Hey, how are you guys doing? I think a lot of people are afraid to hear the truth. Data don't lie. I know. We're asked Sterling for his data. I mean, number 2 already said I can't be too aggressive today. So, I mean, I can. Hey guys, if you see this video, if you see this live, just go hashtag Sterling and ask him where he get his data. I mean, all of my calculations already accounted for even a lot of like very hard to calculate complex fees, right? To be honest, I really trust your DD and the information you offer. As a good judge of character, this is one channel I trust. Thank you so much, Darcy. Yeah, Jimmy is resting right now. Hey, what's up, Captain Crunch? Audio is great, thank you. Grass, what's your 1-year projection? So basically, what we're trying to figure out here is not really the 1-year projection thing is irrelevant right now. We're trying to figure out where the 100 million actually go. Like, where did it go? You might say, oh, there are some possibilities here, right? You might say, okay, here's the 5-way or 3-way road here. So scenario number 1, let's go to the home page right here. So you have scenario number 1 is, all right, the $100 million offering we already received, right? Because on balance sheet there's cash 150 million. Okay, so on hand is 150 million on cash. So what we're trying to resolve is either where does this extra 50 million come from, or where does the extra 100 million like went, right? Because on paper they did $250 million offering, right? Okay, scenario number 1. Okay, we've already summarized that. Let's just do scenario number 1. Scenario number 1. They within that 250 million offering, that 100 million offering is already accounted for. So you have 150 million offering left. Okay. So in that 150 million offering, the underwriters only sold 50 million out of that 150 million, which resulted in 150 million total dollar in cash. Okay. What's the possibility of this one happening? Pretty low. Because why? When you assign shares to underwriters, essentially you have no control over that anymore. And then they will just pay you for whatever they sell at the market price. But you know, there is low possibility that this will happen. And we have a second scenario. The $100 million we're missing just disappear in the air. Where did they park them? Well, there are three scenarios, which I don't really want to go over because there are a lot of technicalities to it. And the probability of that is around 30%, okay? And you have the third probability of where does $100 million go. This one is fairly interesting, okay, let me tell you guys. Because this one is operating in a very legal gray area here, okay? So we know that, okay, now we have 100 million-ish cash on hand. We already solved how did they get the 100 million. So where did they get the next 50 million? Let's just say they are basically, from time to time, they're selling a little bit of their share over time, over the past, let's just say, you know, from end of June to August, they're slowly selling that, you know, they're trying to acquire another 100 million by over that. So then they haven't showed up in their balance sheet yet. But it doesn't make sense because all of the underwriter could have sold this, could have raised this much money by when the stock price for Torch is around like just say $18. No, $10. We're doing like post-reverse split here. So then like that would be like the most cheap for them to do the offerings, no? And then another thing we have to understand is also if I don't make sense at any point, just ask me questions. Oh geez, there's so many comments right now. So if we go back, okay, there's some very interesting stuff going on. Okay, if we go back at Metamaterials press release, dated June 28th, 2021, and I quote, this is what I quote from Metamaterials CFO. As a result of transaction and our recent ATM offering, Metamaterials now have over 160 million in cash. Okay, and a virtually debt-free balance sheet with approximately this amount of shares and outstanding after blah, 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 blah. Doesn't matter, right? So their CFO said on June 28th, 2021 that they have 160 million over, guys, over means plus, right? Over 160 million in cash. But if you go look at their balance sheet, which is their, let's look at their 10K real quick. This is their recent 10K, okay? The one in question that just filed last week. Wait, not this one. Not this quarterly report. It's this one. Remember, period ending 2021 June 30th. For those of you who are asking questions about nanotech technology, like nanotech security, you're saying, oh, you know, they acquired that in the... No. We're talking about Q2 here. The cutoff line here is June 30th, 2021. There's nothing to do anything. The merger closed on the 25th. And the timeline we're talking about here has nothing to do anything that George does after the merger closes, okay? And if you look at the balance sheet right here, the date ended as of June 30th, 2021, they have $154 million cash on hand. And this is 2 days. The cutoff line is 2 days after they announced they have $160 million in cash. So if you do the math, let's just say over 160 is 160. If you do the math, 160 million minus how much money they're showing on their balance sheet, 154 million. That means there's already $6 million missing, guys. You either lose $6 million or you miss $100 million. I mean, both of them are technically fraudulent activity or just maybe disclosure error. And the differences in jail time is around 5 years. Like, am I making sense here? Ask questions, please. Right? Well, let me read the thing. Let me read this thing. The truth about MMAT. Does the filing show that they fully executed all 150 million? Does that filing show that they fully executed all 150? Okay, this is a very good question. Does the filing show that they fully executed 150 million? The interesting thing is, when they fully executed 150 million, it's already at the merger closing date. Does that make sense now? So then if they really want to hide it, they can hide it. Because right now, Metamaterial operates as Torch. And then whatever on Torch's balance sheet will belong to Metamaterial. including all liabilities and all good and bad press. So what they can do is they can actually hide the result of the 150 million offering by doing a reverse split, which they did. And if you go back, I don't have the detailed math out here on this computer, but I can post that on Patreon or on Discord or whatever. So basically what happens, if you look at the flow and look at the outstanding flow on the day of the merger closing, you will see that the 150 million price offerings are being executed on the market based on how much shares are there outstanding. Okay, do I need to repeat that? Ask questions, guys, ask questions, because I can't talk the entire, probably gonna do like half an hour or an hour stream, and and then later on make a video for tomorrow morning on price prediction, and probably I will be right and everybody will just hate me again. MMAT has the confirmation bias problem. It's like they only want to hear good news or positive spin. Yeah, exactly, dude. Like on this channel, as I said before in my other videos, right now I am no bear or no bulls anymore. I'm just a part of the flow. Like we're just trying to make money here. Like I just consider all my 14K I lost in the stock as tuition to the market, because I should never take any position. Like before, me and number two was like, oh my god, we love George. You're just like another nerd, have a nerd squad, and totally want to support his company, and we see the potential. But guess what? He doesn't listen to any of our suggestions. He doesn't see what the full potential of his company is, and he doesn't even have a clear go-to-market strategy. This is why no big institutional buyers are willing to go into this stock. Sounds like George is trying to Madoff us. Hey, let's go! But no, I don't think he's at Bernie Madoff level, because he on his sheet he cannot even cook up enough revenue to make us believe that he's making revenue, which is not. I agree it is low possibility, but we need proof to say otherwise, right? What do you mean to see low possibility to see? The share offering. The mechanics of share offering doesn't work like the way how Sterling put it. Just saying. I just want everybody to know that sometimes it hurts to know the truth. I know the truth now because me and number two we dig way too deep on this one. We should just do surface DD. On the other hand, we decided to go really deep and decided to go like, I don't know, Luke Skywalker or like Yoda on this thing. Basically what we did is we did so much people DD on this thing. Okay, right now we understand every move that George might do in the next 2 years. And we understand what their potential competitors are, what are the unit costs of their competitors, what are some of the moves he should have been done in the past few months, which he didn't, and how much patent he holds on his own hands in his little shell company, and also we understand how much patents are holding other people's hands that are not under metamaterial. So I think we've done too much DD on this thing, which, like in this case, we just sort of, the truth just hurts. Do you know the total special dividend shares that was kept by the stockholders? So basically, according to the filings, I can also circle that. If you tag us on Twitter, we will post the file in the SEC. It's all public data, by the way. Everything we say are public data. You can all access it. And some of our projections and price predictions, the reason why our price prediction on this channel is so accurate is because we might have information that you guys don't have, and those information we cannot share on the public domain, by the way. This is why right now we have a 99% prediction price accuracy rate, and we have a 90% hit rate. For those of you who don't understand what hit rate is if we pick 10 stocks, 9 stocks will go up, okay? If DD says something is fishy, then I give the benefit of the doubt. Big brains on this young man. Thank you so much. Are you bearish on MMAT? No, we're bullish in a 6-year runway. We think in 6 years this stock's gonna go to $30. If this company or if George does not commit any fraudulent activity. Okay, this is a big if here, because we're trying to figure out where this 100 million goes. It's a goose chase right here. Okay, and the reason why we asked it on Twitter is because we believe the transparency in the financial world. We believe CEOs and CFOs should be transparent to their investors. This is why we asked. Okay, and we ask that because we want clarification, because we cannot find where it is go. This is why we really want George to answer this instead of Sterling jumping on a wagon and answer that with some, you know. Number 2, you want to put it nicely with some, Sterling give us some constructive feedback. We really want the truth from George here, okay? And you know, I mean, bad data and you know, just you know, bad numbers aside, I mean, Sterling is still a good guy, okay? You guys, you know, number 2, still a fan of him. You know, I've been telling him that, you know, everything has to be objective because we're mathematical guys. Everything can come down to the number because the number do not lie. We stand by the numbers as we are. When does MMAT hit $5? This is irrelevant because if we're trading with the flow right now, if the company actually committed fraudulent activity, then we're not talking about hitting 5. We're talking about hitting 2 here. But hey, hopefully we're wrong. Okay. Exactly, dude. 0. Hey, 0 is up. How are you doing? I thought you went to sleep. Yeah, the first 100 million is confirmed, and you know it's reflected, right? The 100 million in their balance sheet, but not the 150 million exactly. So we want to know how much of that offering actually went down, which we can confirm by looking at the flow. All of them already being sold, okay? But the fact that torches no longer exist in this sort of realm of discussion, that's why we can never find out what really happened there, especially when they decided to use the reverse split to reverse their stock offering efforts. Okay, if you guys have any question, want us to make a video about what exactly or what actually the reverse split do, we can make a video about it. We're probably gonna lose another 50 subscribers by just posting that out. But hey, it is the truth. I mean, number 2 and I believe that we have a moral obligation to inform our viewership that the facts are out there, okay? And we have moral obligation, and it's our it's our obligation imperative, it's our moral imperative to really tell you guys what really is going on. If we see something might be fishy, if we see something might spark a fraudulent spark in its financial statement, we have to tell you guys. It doesn't matter how much money we lost. Me personally already lost 14K in the stock, by the way, and we have to add all the option rolling price to you. And it's just so unfair that you want us to put our position online, because the reason why a lot of day traders and other traders online don't want to put their stuff out is because we have to deal with legal ramifications later on when a lot of, you know, when we actually get big and people is gonna, like, there's some legal ramifications here, okay? And then we might blur out some of the sensible information on there and just let you guys see the number. Okay, you won't see 14K in the red, of course, right? And also, I have my investors who stake me to trade, okay? I had really great return before I entered MMAT. I have to explain to them why I'm making mistake on the stock. I mean, it's not really a mistake right now because we can long-term hold it, okay? But just for number 1 alone, for number 2 alone, right? Because number 2 is over there. He lost around 7K, and he's entering prices around, you know, $5, okay? This is looking bad for all of us, okay? For the 2 of us. And we are here, we can totally just go the Sterling route and just hype you guys out and be like, yeah, there's gonna be new investors coming in, and you know, when we are over our, you know, original cost basis, we'll just dump it, and guess what? We're not responsible for everyone. But no, we're responsible for our viewership. We have a moral obligation to you guys, and rather than an ethical obligation to you guys. We cannot be that unethical. Just misinform you guys and just keep hyping you up with like blind and fake numbers. We're not gonna do that. Okay, if you're here for the hype, you might as well just click off of this stream because we don't want to do that. We're ethical people. So you hold puts and no, we don't. We actually don't hold puts. The reason why you will lose money in options is because we hold calls. Do you have any rough estimations on Torchline asset sell value? TL, there's gonna be a video out about that. I mean, you can go back and look at our previous dividend sort of calculation. It's still fairly accurate, but right now because of fluctuation in oil, we have new estimations for that. And a lot of you are gonna argue about a $3.2 billion oil reserve or whatever. Clearly, you guys need some videos. We're probably gonna post a very short video, hopefully under 8 minutes or under 5 minutes, to explain how the real transaction in terms of a big, oil company coming in and buy a small oil company or buy a piece of land. And by the way, guys, Torch does not own the land. Torch owns the minimal rights to get the oil out of the land. Okay, they do not own the land. University Lands or Universal Land. University Lands owns the land. This is why Torch has to pay 20% of the working interest to University Lands in Texas. Like it's a flat working interest rate. And there's a lot of calculation with involved when you do the dividend calculation. I mean, as right now, if you look at the balance sheet, right? If you look at the balance sheet, how is George like pricing the liability, right? Like, we can look at that. So if we look at that, I think they park it at $72 million. Yeah, say they put preferred stock liability at $78 million. So I think this is a very bullish estimate of how much this land will sell, and we have no idea whether they're actually gonna sell this land or not. I'm gonna put, okay, guys, consider we don't care about subs anymore. We're just gonna post that video about basically the agreement on how the preferred stock, your dividend is gonna work. And there's a possibility that we will get 0 dividend, but that possibility right now is pretty low. But the way how they phrase their bylaws and their fine print under there, like in very, very small letters, like those lawyers like to F us over with those like little small letters. In those small letters, you will see that the time frame calculation and the way how they're literally structured the special dividend payout is a little bit iffy at this point, okay? But right now, if you just do the calculation for that, it's pretty simple. What does George really price the dividend is, let's just do 77.9, let's just do 78 million divided by the 200 million shares preferred share out there. So they price it at 0.39 right now. It's not even 50 cents, it's 39 cents. And yeah. But this is just what this balance sheet tells us, right? We're strictly speaking of the balance sheet right now. The Goodwill section is hey, what's up, Uncle Smokey? Number 2, what you doing right now?
I'm looking at what you said look into. You said look into the Hazel deal, Uncle Smokey said.
The Hazel deal?
Yeah, the Hazel project.
We covered that in the previous video. We already covered how much it was sold and then how they do their price per sort of like per acre stuff. We already did that in previous videos. But yeah, maybe we should like revisit that video, maybe make it a little shorter, because I know you guys, the attention span is super low. So yeah, like a lot of those are already priced, and a part of our Discord community, we have like someone who works in the oil industry, and I consulted someone who works in Halliburton for a lot of my price predictions for my previous videos. So a lot of them are pretty accurate, and as you can see, a lot of the video predictions are coming true. So yeah. And we will make that dividend video out, I guess. But you have to take a lot of these filings in a grain of salt. And if you want to go look at the Goodwill section, of course. But remember, Goodwill Impairment is going to depreciate every single year. So right now, how George would basically categorize, all right, let's just do this here. Or I was going to make a video actually of how they categorize Goodwill and how the Goodwill is going to be amortized or appreciated, whatever you call that, over the few years. So basically, the Goodwill is like 218 million, and it's just wrong to think that this is what the asset is going to sell at, because this is not how Goodwill works. How Goodwill works is, so you have the base book value of Torch, which is worth just a little bit, a portion of the 218 million, and basically what they're trying to say is. And oh my god, how do I explain it? I probably should make a video about it instead of doing it on stream. But if you go look at it, there's some SEC, there's a letter from the SEC addressing Torch based on how Torch used to categorize Goodwill on Torch balance sheet, and their Goodwill is literally about 36% more than even fair. So if we use that logic in here and you actually go back and look at all Torch's total asset, total liability, and look at what the potentials are, even give all of the land asset a multiplier of 6x multiplier, this Goodwill is still overpriced. I mean, again, I probably just if I'm talking too much in accounting lingo, please let me know, because this is like my profession or trade. I was trading in finance and accounting, so I might have more insights than you guys. So if there's anything that doesn't make sense, please ask me questions. What are your thoughts on potential squeeze play with MMAT? Some preach the FTD are gonna hit and stocks will moon. Interested to hear your thoughts. No, FTD doesn't matter. FTD only matters when volumes are there, and FTD only matters and also the settlement cycle doesn't matter because we don't have any volume to support, and we don't have big institutional buyers to sort of support our long position. And if you go look at a lot of 13Fs, the Goldie boys, you know, Vanguard lowered their position by around 40%. The Goldie boys lowered their position by about 77%. And remember, 13F only comes every quarter, okay? For those of you who are still confused about how 13F works, quarterly, they are obligated to file 13F, all these hedge funds or whatever, mutual funds or whatever, who holds security. They have to file that to the SEC. They file that on a quarterly basis. So you will have people who filed it, you know, coming in like August 11th, August 12th, August 13th. There might be something coming in, you know, next week, next Monday, next Tuesday. They're just, you know, sporadically coming in. And as I predicted before, other than BlackRock, all of the other big boys are going to contract their positions. And guess what? It already comes true, right? Northern Trust contracted, GMT contracted, Goldie boys, right? Goldman Sachs. Goldie boys, they contracted. Vanguard contracted, which is one of the biggest holders on this. And the reason why I said BlackRock would increase position is because I think they're trying to do an M&M play here. But this is just pure speculation here, okay? I read the paperwork on dividend. A lawyer wet dreams so many get outs to reduce dividend. Yeah, exactly. They have so many get outs to reduce dividend payment. But hey, guess what, guys? We're talking about ticker simple MMAT, and technical analysis are futile, and you know, fundamentals got thrown out of the window, guys, right? What's good? You are the man. How will finding the 100 million help or hurt us? So if we find the 100 million, then that means, you know, there's no fraudulent activity going on, or they haven't did any accounting mistake in their balance sheet. So then everything is fine, right? The 6 years, $30 projection will still hold, and maybe you will be a little bit more bullish after that. And maybe, you know, your LEAP options will start printing by the end of 2021, okay? But if we cannot find the 100 million, or nobody come out and confirm that the 100 million actually exists or non-existing, that means what is going to be interesting is, then you are getting into the territory of fraudulent activity. And you will see SEC come and investigate. And as we speak right now, after we, you know, type up a report, we're gonna let, you know, a bunch of like, you know, accounting professionals to look at our calculation, and we might be hitting up some, you know, big names in New York, and you know, maybe tag the SEC. We don't know yet, because we're still trying to. If we can resolve this within our community, that's the best thing. But if we cannot get any answer from George or any official answer from the CFO, then we might wanna do some legal. Sorry, my minds are just going somewhere else. Like we might take some legal actions. Because if there's actually a fraudulent activity that's going on within the stock, then the shareholders have to be compensated for such misdeeds. Thank you so much for Badback 007 for the $5 donation. Thank you so much. He said, appreciate the throughout DD you guys do. This is the only channel that doesn't sugarcoat it. Thank you so much. Yeah, fuck the hate. I know. Thank you so much for the support. Wait a second, sorry, too many comments. I need to read them one by one. That is the overvalue per the market. That is, what do you mean, Uncle Smoke? What do you mean by that is the overvalue per the market? You mean how Goodwill works? Yeah, but also you have to apply industry multiplier on what assets. Basically, what worth money for George is the listing, right? So basically, we have to figure out how much the listing that really worth for George. At this point, we can say the listing worth 250 million or 150 million because the listing got him that much money from the offering, right? So then, even if you deducted the 150 million from the 219 million, you still have around 70 million that's questionable in terms of goodwill. I took the 100 million case closed. Yeah, guys, it's a goose hunt right now. We need to find it because it's not on the balance sheet. So you think dividend will be less than 39 cents? It's really hard to say, really, because per our Discord discussion, we say the dividend can actually range from literally $0.02 to $0.5 per share. And if bullish things happen, then it could go up to like $1 to $1.8 per dividend. But this is the probability of that happening is pretty low. And right now, just within our small community, we really think Torch might actually do a spinoff. Consider the way how they operate, but the probability distribution we're doing right now still put that in a low 10% range. Because as we are closer and closer to the closing date of the deal, essentially on the fine print, what they say is if they haven't sold these assets by the end of this year, we automatically don't get our dividend. FTD covers on a T4 stimulation. I don't understand what you mean FTD covers on a T4 stimulation. FTD, in my opinion, aren't worth a damn, aren't worth a damn unless it's margin call. Exactly. FTD do not worth anything. It does not. You shouldn't be discussing FTD right now because we don't have volume to even support the FTD induced squeeze. As I said before, right, in my double squeeze video, I talked about gamma squeeze, I talked about FTD induced squeeze. FTD induced short squeeze is like the easiest way to squeeze a stock. But in order for that to happen, you need the time and you need a proper setup. The timing is super, super important, and also you need the volume to support. For Meta, we do not have the volume to support, especially for a lot of the corporate fucked up and a lot of over the past few months, like all of the share conversion delay and all of the other things coming into, and then the rash acquisition of nanotech security. I don't really want to get into that. The reduction in percent in the certain F is because of RS. No, it's not because of the RS. Because if the reduction in percent in certain F is due to the RS, then you will see all 50% deduction. No, it's not like that. What the RS do is your total portfolio value do not change. Only your shares changes. So basically, you double the value of your stock from $50 to $100, and let's just say when beforehand you hold 100 shares, now you hold 50 shares. So in an option explanation, that just means the price of your options will stay the same or double, but your lot size will decrease. All right, so this is the representation of how this goes. So before reverse split, let's just say number 2 and I. So DD hold. Let's just say before reverse split, DD holds the DD stock, right? We have the DD stock. The DD stock is about let's just do it $5 per share, and DD owns 100 shares of the DD stock. The total value is what? $500, right, on our portfolio, right? And then after reverse split, this stock will become after a 1-to-2 reverse split. That means the $5, the stock price will become $10 per share. And then our share, we do not hold 100 shares anymore, we hold 50 shares. The total value is still $500. Okay, hopefully that cleared up. Number 2, did I clear up the question here?
Sorry.
Damn, dude, what are you working on right now? Huh?
I'm trying to find results.
100 million missing could have went to offering or paying off debt sucks. Okay, so we've already calculated total debt that is on the balance sheet of Torch and on Mana Material. This might be a bad news, a shocker for you guys. If we calculated all of their debt, like including a lot of debt that might not consider debt, we basically calculate their total liability on their balance sheet. So if we go back and look at their balance sheet, what is this date? This one. So if we look at their total liability on their balance sheet and we account for that. So Torch, how much liability do you have? Let's just round it up, 20 million, okay? And we go back to Meta Materials' old filings and we look at their total liability. Let's just say 30 million, okay? It's also in Canadian dollars. So 30 million in Canadian dollars, that's what? 24 million in actual US dollars. So we're trying to convert Beaver dollars into actual US dollars, right? So let's just say 24 plus 20, which equals to $44 million. If let's just say our $250 million went through and then now we have $100 million missing. So $100 million missing right now. Their total liability, we're accounting for a lot of things that are not even debt. We're just like doing it to the maximum. Let's just say they have $44 million right in debt. They paid off their $44 million in debt. What do they have left? 56 million. Where did this 56 million go, guys? Oh my god, where did it go? It just gone, dude. Another goose chase. Oh, 56 or 100. Oh my god, my head hurts, no? And you guys are like, oh guys, these are just the fee you pay for the underwriters. No, the underwriter only takes 3%. We already counted that. Oh no! Oh my god, my head hurts, DD, stop! Sorry, I get a little excited there. Okay, I mean, I guess Benny is asking Uncle Smokey the question. So, CUSIP change is still useless movement. Yeah, exactly, it's useless. Go back and look at our video. We talked about the rollover shorts way before everybody's talking about why the shorts are still there. Shorts do not have to cover. There's no such thing as shorts have to cover. It doesn't exist. CUSIP change was on June 28th. Well, technically it got finalized on July 2nd, but sure. I mean, if you guys love June 28th, why not just take that date? And it's just useless. It's literally useless because your shorts can roll over. But assets were reclassified as held for sale, which is supposed to be a commitment to sell. It's even stated this in a 10K. Okay, Zero, you lost me here. What are we trying to accomplish here? What are you asking in terms of assets to sell? So on Torch's balance sheet, the Oregon, or in this channel, we call it Ariana Grande project. The Ariana Grande project on Torch's balance sheet is only worth 32 million, and on the new balance sheet, it was worth 72 million. What's the logic there? Isn't that also interesting to think about? See, I'm just trying to stir you guys in the right way of thinking about how this thing works, and you guys can do your own DD without just like listening to me talk and just calling us FUD. Because everything we talk about in this channel are all supported by real data. How much will they compensate us? Good question, right? Form your own opinion here. How serious is this issue to the proposed acquisition of Nanotech Security? So Nanotech Security is for another video. That's for Q3. We're only talking about Q2 here, okay? Carl? Sorry, my English pronunciation is bad. English is my third or second language. The problem, so we also see a problem with Nanotech Securities acquisition, but that's gonna be for another video. And this is not even within the category or the realm of this financial statement we're analyzing here. This financial statement is the cutoff line for this financial statement we're talking about is literally June 30th, 2021, which is 5 days after merger close. How serious? Hey DD, so if there is fraud, so back orders are compensated for amount. So basically what happens is, okay guys, we don't want to see fraud in here, okay? Because I actually still believe in the tech, guys. I actually still believe in the tech because I think photonic chips are amazing. Because in Google, we probably shouldn't talk about that. But anyways, so what happens is, you say the fraud, if there's fraud, do back orders get compensated for amount? No, we would sue them. We will probably form a class action lawsuit against the company. And so yeah, that will be something that we might be Number 2 and I will probably go do a GoFund us, a page or whatever to get the lawyer we need for that, and then all of your shareholders will just like sign up on a class action lawsuit, and then later on, I don't know how much we're gonna get compensated, or at this point we don't even want to talk about fraud because I actually don't want to see them fail. You see the difference here? People are accusing us for like shorting, and we're not shorting. We actually want to see the stocks be successful. Because they're the first metamaterial company on the Nasdaq. That means they have a first move advantage. For those of you who are old enough to saw like that initial pull-up for NVIDIA, we're talking about the same category here. It's just like the CEO might not be as competent as NVIDIA's CEO, but hey, like we're still hopeful. But we just like if fraud actually were committed, then hey, like we have to sue them to get our money back. Went to pockets. What's up, Casper? You still haven't offered any input about the debt that MMAT had to pay off. I mean, yeah, sorry, on stream there's a delay. I don't know how I fix it, but I've already addressed that. That's about $44 million in total. And I can tell you right here, half of those debt actually went, they're convertible notes, and they literally converted to common shares. So there's no cash transaction there, okay? If there's... Wait, who is?
That's done the Doomsday Cloak.
Wait, who is?
That's the Doomsday Cloak, right? Go down all the way.
Oh, interesting. If there's fraudulent activity on what does conversation look like for shareholders? So if there is fraudulent activity, then we probably need like all of you to sign up for the lawsuit or whatever, and then we're probably gonna do a class action lawsuit. That's just we don't want to really go that route yet, at least, because we still want this thing to go well. And if that happens, number 2 and I will keep you guys posted. If you guys want to still follow up on this this entire event, follow us on Twitter, sub to our channel, smash like button or whatever you do. Just keep we will keep you guys updated in terms of like what are some other perspective on the balance sheet. We're literally sending out to for other people to read, and and at least 2 of them who's been working in this industry for like at least 20 years as public accountants. They agree with what I'm trying to say here, so we're not really looking that great, but we're hopeful, okay? So what is the spin-off worth? Basically, we don't know. Actually, we don't know how much the spin-off is going to worth. It's going to worth at least $5 million because it's on their balance sheet. Dividend cannot be calculated till asset sale. Yeah, dividend cannot be calculated till asset sale. Exactly. I mean, yeah. I mean, we've been stressing that for like what, months now, and we've been telling our viewership that the next possible squeeze will be at when dividends were paid out, because the shorts have to pay the dividend because they shorted when dividends were out. Well, hell, no dividend, no squeeze. Yeah, no dividend, no squeeze. Exactly. Thank you so much, Marvin. On a squeeze, we'll see the float trade 2 times over, maybe even more than that. It really depends. So basically, no T5 on Monday for this week that people are hyping up to be. Yeah, T plus 25. Also, guys, T plus 25 rule is the extension of the T plus 13 rule that got amended in 07. Wait, fact check me, number 2. Is it on 07? I think it is on 07. The T plus 35 rule. And guys, 35 trading days, do you know how many months is that? Do the calculation in your head. That can be a lot of MMA hedging, so it doesn't really matter. How do you predict dividend if they haven't sold the asset yet? What the fuck? You have a crystal ball. It's really too early to say. I mean, you can go back and look at our previous videos. All of those DDs still hold, by the way. Just that if there is fraudulent activity, then we might be thinking about the worst. Okay. Yeah, if you guys are looking for a due diligence crystal ball, maybe we can make it into March, and I mean, yeah, we do have a over 90% correct prediction rate here. The Divi no spin-off, they're committed to sell the land lease. Yeah, no spin-off, the Divi no, but no, you, zero. Here's the thing you're missing out here. They haven't said that there's no, on the bylaws of the AK they put out, or on the bylaws of the 10Q, they said there's a possibility of spin-off, but right after 6 months after the merger closed, which is our deadline for receiving dividend. And if you go look at the oil market right now, it's not really looking that great for us, but hey, we are hopeful still. Do you think George will actually answer a 100 million question on Twitter? Yo, number 2, do you think George is gonna answer our $100 million question on Twitter?
I don't think so.
Yeah, number 2 is not hopeful, and you know, I think
he liked Sterling's, but he didn't comment on ours.
Yeah, I think number 2. If you guys really think who got paid, Sterling might be the one.
Exactly. Right?
Because Sterling, because literally, you know, George liked Sterling's tweet. You can go look at Twitter. George liked Sterling's response, but he didn't respond personally, even though Sterling didn't even correctly answer the question in terms of all these numbers. We're the numbers guys. We know the numbers. So I don't think he's gonna actually come on and answer the question, because if he answered the question, then we have follow-up questions. We have 24 follow-up questions in our notebook right now. We have to ask about that $100 million. And George knows, because remember that video we posted out, Dear George, that meta material metaverse video we posted out. If you go and decrypt all of the cryptic language we're trying to send to George, you will know that we actually we understand his finances from the bottom of our heart, and we understand what he's trying to accomplish from like even 5 years before this merger even started. Will the coming dip in the semiconductor sector affect MMAT? Good question, Daryl. Not really, because they are not really a semiconductor company per se. They are a metamaterial company. And we might post some, you know, semiconductor metamaterial related content in terms of photonic circuits on our Patreon, because there's some industry knowledge that cannot be out in the public domain. So yeah, bear with us. Like, we rather give out a lot of these knowledges like to you guys, but a lot of the information we obtain, I don't want to get in trouble, but just say like a lot of the information is somewhat proprietary, and you know, a lot of calculations we don't want to. Anyways, they're just private information. We'd rather put it on Patreon. So you know, those are for privileged eyes, and we want to keep it like under closed doors. Doomsday Clock calling us a FUD. Okay, I mean, we already in the past 10 minutes we already told you that, you know, if we just maximize their debt in total will be $44 million. And I will tell you right now, half of that debt is not even real debt. And then half of that debt that you think is $44 million, they didn't even do a cash transaction. So the $100 million is still missing. Come, TL, they want to see you, dude. They want to see you, number 2. TL said, can number 2 get some joint screen time with Didi? I agree, let George have the final say, but
what's up, guys?
The insinuation that there is fraud here seems to be more evident, and growing here. Well, yeah, I mean, like, you know, I was gonna be a forensic accountant. Literally what I do is find fraud. If Torch does a spin-off, do we as shareholders of Meta get shares in this? No, we don't get shares in the spin-off unless we discuss otherwise by the end of this year. Guilty until proven. No. We still think he's innocent until proven guilty. That's why we asked him the question. You see, we have great intention. Don't we have good intention?
Yeah.
We have great intention when we post our
duty
videos.
to give you what you see.
Yeah,
what you want.
What's that?
It's our duty.
Yeah, it's our duty to, like, you know, ask, you know,
give you the facts.
Yeah, give you guys the facts. That's why we say we have moral obligation. Sleep with one eye open, because once George find out that you outed his hussy, he's gonna come blasting, fucked up his eating money. Oh, yeah, maybe that will happen. Who knows? I might get killed by the end of next week. Who knows? I'm pretty sure you guys is on George. Yeah, probably. As shareholder, doesn't George or someone ever have to address those questions? We own the company. Well, we don't own the controlling share of the company. George does. He owns most of the voting share and he controls the board. So yeah, it's not really going well. It's not like the AMC situation, but the AMC situation is a whole another situation. We don't really want to piss off the apes at this point because we already lost like so many people because we talked about AMC's potential drop, and we perfectly predicted the price range of where it's going to drop, and we even give you guys like entry point of when you should buy back. And about, I think 10 of you in a Discord and about 20 of you on YouTube actually profited that. And then that's one of our video we talk about. We were actually semi-salty and talk about, oh, you guys benefited and you didn't support us. And you know, we got a lot of really heartwarming messages on Discord. They're telling us, oh, thank you so much for the tip. We bought it at like 28, we bought it at 30. When it dropped down and it went up again, we day traded a little bit. We make like 5%, 10% profit. You know, but yeah, day trade is our thing basically. Before, you know, we entered MMAT, literally we were making like 10% every single day, and I think this is where I go back and look at myself. I'll be like, yeah, I think I'm being too hubristic in that period of time. I'll be like, every trade I enter will be a winning thing, and I haven't done enough people DD on meta material, which I should have done. And you know, we're certainly like, you know, I'm always like very critical about myself. I should have done more DD on my part. I've done a lot of tech DD, but I didn't do the people DD, which I should have foreseen. So hey guys, I am the manager of our portfolio. Therefore, when I'm you know, losing money, it's my responsibility to my investors and to number two and to me, you know, and to you guys at the same time, because we, again, like our obligation is to give you guys the most factual information here. I know. We don't bash on Sterling because number two loves Sterling. Like number two is like Sterling's biggest fans. I'm just like salty and being critical about like all of the informations and everything. We still think Sterling is a super nice guy. We don't want to bash on him. That's why like we posted that video and we got so much hate because he got a lot of minions and whatever. Like we're here on good terms here. Okay. Basically, the argument is the reason why Sterling doesn't really like our answer or doesn't really like our tweet is the basic premise of the logic is because we're spreading truth no matter if we're right or wrong. In this case, we're probably 80% to 90% right. Okay, so if we are right, then that means new investors want to invest in the stock. Therefore, you know, a lot of the losses that he endured will be trapped in the market, or like he just doesn't want to lose the money he lost. Right, so it's you guys can also go ask him, like post how much he's been losing or whatever. Yo, Nagana, I'm sure he got paid because around the time the torch price had that round, he apparently changed from a little scuffy looking to a well-groomed. Funny, dude. Newton, you're funny. Hopefully all this got get played. Yeah. Hopefully it will. Where is the DD on George? You always say you know him 100%, but you never show us the DD. We're all about numbers and facts here, you know. Yeah. There are certain things I cannot just make a video out and post it on YouTube. This is why number two and I are setting up Patreon. And you guys will have a lot of access to a lot of information that, you know, a lot of people might not have or just don't have the time to gather. So if you want the DD on George, I literally have like a whole folder of them. For someone who claimed to like MMAT, you are very supportive of the negative comments, even when it's not proven factual. What do you mean the negative comments? We're supportive of all bullish and bearish comments if they can be supported by numbers. Well, Sterling did accuse DD of spreading FUD when he's just asking a question for investors. Exactly, we're just asking a question for investors because we really want to know where this number goes. Because I'm those kind of guys who, when I see the balance sheet balance out, I actually get a high off of that. Check his likes, he support all the FUD comment and nothing positive. Wouldn't surprise me if the due diligence guy starts shorting. Oh, hey, what's up? You are, okay, so your narrative changes from, okay, it might be some credibility here to we start shorting. I mean, again, for the past, what, an hour, we've been talking about this. We're not shorting the stock. And maybe, hey, maybe if you keep bugging us like this, maybe we should start shorting, right? If there's fraudulent activity, would you short to make money? Would you? Probably. You gotta think logical here. We're here to make money. We're not here to like just support a blank check company or, you know, some management team is full of PhDs who doesn't have business insights. Threatening to do a class action lawsuit on CEO is running. We never said we were doing it. I'm just saying that's the worst case scenario. Doomsday, if all stock has someone like Didi looking over their shoulder, I guarantee you will have more transparent and better run companies for shareholders. Yeah, I mean, thank you so much, Hulk. Yeah, this is what me and number two believe. We believe the financial world should be transparent. It should be completely transparent. And CEO shouldn't be someone you put on a pedestal. He should be someone who can talk to their shareholders. There is a difference between asking questions and making your bias evident against George himself. Do you have any evidence that George is doing his best not running this to the ground? Or do you have any evidence that, you know, just trying to prove us that we're not really asking a question? We're literally asking a question. Our tonality on a tweet is super neutral. We're just asking. He didn't reply. It's not our fault that he didn't reply. We're just laying out all the possibility here. I mean, again, I think you were here from the beginning, but you left. You know, if you don't want our content, you know, you can click off the stream and just leave. It's okay. We're just presenting the facts here. It's easy to dismiss as default. It's all we want. Show us the paper trail. You wanna? Yeah, we just want the paper trail, guys. Just 100 million, just gone in the air. I'm gonna have to check out your Patreon. Do you guys cover other stock plays? Yeah, if you want to check out our Patreon, I mean, on our YouTube, we also sometimes do, you know, some timely trades, like, you know, we give out tips on AMC, sometimes on GME, and our TDU position, like, literally, if you watch our video, like, that day before, you bought in, and, you know, we show you proof that we made 50% on trades, and on FULC, we also made 50%. We do run an algorithm that I developed, but there's some tweaking I have to do, and also with, like, you know, linear algebra, I'm taking an MIT course online. I mean, I took a lot of MIT course online. There are a lot of things I need to tweak of the algorithm, but yeah, we are gonna cover a lot of other stocks and a lot of surprising stocks too. And if you just look at our returns, like despite MMAT, even on Robinhood, we have, I personally got some shares at 33, sold it at like a 42, and, you know, bought it back at about 48 again. You know, and our perspective on stocks is very different from other channel. So you will see a very sort of mathematical plus psychological heavy stock prediction on our channel. And right now our predictions are pretty correct. If you just go back and watch all of our videos, even back when we just started. And for those of you who are curious about our, you know, it's like only 100 of you actually watched that the BlackBerry YOLO play. We actually got 4% on our YOLO play because I spotted some very interesting indicators. Shouldn't he be asking Torch where the money went instead? See, Doomsday, what you don't understand here is Torch is Meta. Meta is Torch now. By reverse taking over the shell of Torch, right now George is basically Torch. Like Torch equals George, George equals Torch now. Whatever mistake Torch committed, George is going to be accounted for. This is one of the due diligence you have to do before you do a reverse merger. When you say you're a big company, you're trying to do that. Okay. Technically speaking, have you not brought this to the light, then no one would have found out about this. How is this so with so many eyes on the balance sheet? Unbelievable, great insight. Yeah, because a lot of people just, you know, overseeing, like, we see what we want to see, guys. We see what we want to see. When you're losing money, you only want to see the positive things. How about checking Torch's financial books? I mean, I just did. They don't have that. They don't have 100 million on their 10Q. If English is third language, what are the first two? Hey, good question. You're not gonna find out in this video. Don't be stupid, people. If Didi was going to short, he would have shorted at 10. It's too late to short now. At this point, he would just say, yeah, exactly. Thank you, Marvin, for, you know, watching our content. As we said before, at $3, there's no point of shorting anymore, unless you know there's gonna be another reverse flip. Hell, if I knew this was going to happen, I would have shorted the stock. Hey, Marvin, what is up, boy? There's no hindsight in stock, dude. There's no hindsight in investing. We can only learn from our mistakes. And I'm learning with you guys. Again, even though I have, like, you know, I started trading, you know, stocks when I'm not even like losing legal age, because, you know, I'm just super good at math guy, and I see the world differently than other people. But again, like, we learn, right? We learn from this. Gilbert, absolutely, we're lucky to have Didi working on this for nothing. Hopefully it gets sorted. If it's fraud, we might never have find out. Yeah, I mean, only about 1% of financial fraud ever get surfaced. So yeah, this is what we're learning for London accounting classes. And I have the eyes of spotting them. If I see any sparks of inclination of anything happen, I will point it out to you guys. So then you guys won't lose money. And we are right now losing money. So I mean, there's literally by we surf literally talking about the probability of fraud is already we being such inhuman basically, because we're literally cutting ourselves by spreading the truth basically. George does respond if you're on the right platform. He replies to people on StockWiz all the time. He won't talk about the stock, but he likes to talk to his investors, and he does appreciate us. First of all, we don't really know if that account is actually confirmed him. If it's confirmed him, then he really needs to work on his timing, because he talked about earnings expected early this week, or in this case last week. It didn't came out until Thursday, and his street cred is really getting hit here. Hey, what's up, Aura? Thank you so much for smashing that like button. Hey, Aura is one of those people who actually, capitalized on our video and made money on AMC tips, and maybe he or she capitalized on our other tips on other stocks too. Every week we try to push out some of those contents out, so then you guys can form your own DD and make some quick money. Smokey George does answer and communicate with his retail investor, but they never talk about numbers or data, which tell me he doesn't take people seriously on StockWiz. Funny. Yeah, if you go to Meta sites and look into finance, you will find years of torch file. Yeah, exactly. We've already done that. As we talked about, we've already done this, and we already calculated their total liability. So yeah, the difference is there's gonna be either 7 million missing, or 50 million missing, or 100 million missing, right? So the difference between 7 million missing to 100 million missing is literally only 5 years of jail time, guys. Did you send a request or invite to George P to come here? I mean, kinda. I mean, we tagged him. Oh, sorry, we gotta let number 2 in because he's locked out. He'll be back in like 5 seconds. Dude, this shit is open, right? Yeah. I think there is a scenario which short did something naughty and non-MMAT responsible doesn't explain where the money went though. Yeah, it doesn't matter who's responsible, because when he does a reverse merger, he already claimed liability for whatever Torch does. So at this point, as a nerd, we're just trying to find out, only a finance nerd though, we're just trying to find out where the money go. Rainbow Meta Bear. What is Rainbow Meta Bear mean? No, but seriously, I want the company to do well, also want my meta squeeze. Yeah, we all want, the squeeze to happen. We do, because, I love to see that morning wood, as I talked about in previous videos. But I think we dug too deep. We dug too deep in terms of people DD, and in terms of the tech DD itself. I connected with a lot of people even in the semiconductor industry, because we have connection to one of the CEOs. One of my mentors actually used to be a CEO in a huge semiconductor company that's public traded. Their fabrication facility is in Malaysia and in Asia. So I have a lot of insights in semiconductor. And I just happen to know some people work in TI. So then, a lot of those calculations, a lot of those things are basically supported by industry knowledge, basically. People who actually work in this industry. And yeah. Just checking in what the hell happened. So we're discussing, we cannot find $100 million. Basically, $100 million is missing from the balance sheet. So we're trying to figure out where does the money go. Straightforward question, short term is MMAT a sell? Well, depending on your cost basis, right? Because if you're already lost 55% or 50% or for me at 54%, then what's the whole point of realizing the loss? Where you're gonna put the money, right? This is a very scenario-based question there. Hopefully George will discuss this with his CFO tomorrow and respond by posting a basketball video on Twitter. Funny, very funny, Paul. I love it. Uncle Smokey is like, sounds like you do a lot of financial DD and this is great. And now like I tell myself that I'm taking your DD with a grain of salt and I'm out. Peace. Okay.
That's salty.
Wait, dude, that's salty. He went from hey, we are buddy now to isn't that funny? Isn't that really funny? Yeah. I think he's just here to like hear what we can say and he can just go back and make another video. I told you he actually watches our video.
No, he doesn't watch it. It's his first time.
No, he does. Like if you look at
in his call, it's his first time.
Oh yeah. You're being sarcastic, aren't you? Yeah, and I think Sterling also will watch our content too, which is just funny. I think he will post more music on stock with us as a response. Hey, what up, Benny? Serious question, what can you do to help us make money on MMAT? Not this 100 million boost fund and threatening to do a lawsuit. I mean, we're gonna post like how to dig yourself out if there's no fraudulent activity on Patreon. I mean, we already lowered our cost basis by, I lowered my cost basis by about 5 to 7.3% over the past 2 weeks and a half. I mean, it's in our video. In one of our videos, we're like, what the Patreon content is gonna look like. That video we talked about, you know, how do you dig yourself out of the hole. But the 100 million goose hunt really need to be addressed because if it's actually true, if there's actual fraudulent activity going on, then we have to take either legal precautions or we have to take, you know, we might actually gonna start shorting because if fraudulent activity actually happens, then hey, it's just gonna tank. Someone said the squeeze already happened when it went from 2 to 10, but I still think there's a mother of all squeeze do, but who knows. Light this money on fire. Let's go. Let's get Sterling in here and man the community. I don't think Sterling is gonna come in here though. I think Sterling is too busy. I think Sterling is pretty stressful right now. Hey, Uncle Smokey is back, bro. Yeah, I think Sterling is. It's
all love on the Smokey.
What?
It's all love on the Smokey.
Yeah, let's go. You have no idea what you're talking about. Well, Jordan, if we don't have any idea what we're talking about, then you know you can click off this video and hey, like you know, 2 BS degrees goes to shitters, all finance related, by the way, and plus you know.
Doesn't anyone give direct answers?
What's that?
Are you talking about Ryan?
No. You have to. No, I'm talking about Jordan Farrow. This guy is like, you have no idea what you're talking about. If we don't have any idea what we're talking about, all the college went to shit, master's degrees went to shit. My proposed PhD thesis will go to shit. And whatever, dude. If you don't want to hear it, just click it off. I mean, again, you see whatever you want to see. It's great. Just keep being in your bubble. It's a safe space here, dude. You can do whatever you want. Okay. Stop mocking other people. You guys are so arrogant. I'm sorry. It's just my salty personality here. Not helpful at all. You guys are a joke. Always give indirect answers. I mean, are we supposed to give direct answers here now? I saw your video Friday when you caught that shot. George betrayed us. Hey Ryan, just chill, okay? Just chill. We're still waiting for his response yet, okay? We're still waiting for his response. I mean, Sterling kind of jumped on the wagon by just answering the question. We don't want him to answer the question because he would not know. Like literally, he would not know. Like I don't even blame him for giving out the wrong information in terms of like a 150. Like if you go look at Sterling's things, right? He's at closed 150 million offering. No, they closed 100 million offering and announced another 100 million offering to be used as needed. No, there's no such thing as used as needed in ad market offering. And also, this is 150 million, but hey, it doesn't matter. I mean, we understand, like Sterling doesn't work in the industry, so it's fine. Like it's totally fine, guys. Like we're not bashing on the people. We're just basically like telling guys the truth here. You YouTuber obsessed with each other. Get me on the video. I have 2 degrees too. One's a master, 10 years of experience. Great, Jordan. Good job. Good job. What I said was I almost did my hours in it, and I'm going to take your research and not hitting community needs peace. I will sign off with amount of peace. Let's go, boys. Let's go. Why are you buying or heading to the sand if balance sheet doesn't add up? Do you not think institutional investor won't spot it and pull out? Let's just pump it. FFS. Oh, you're funny. Yeah, like one of the reasons I think that institutional investors just jump out, including JP Morgan. If you look at JP Morgan's holding, they actually contracted. They actually contracted from their previous holdings from months ago. Right now, there still holds a small position, but it's just way too small. And not willing to average down further because I'm not trying to tie up any more money into Meta at this point. Yes, Marvin, thank you so much for taking our content to the heart. As weeks before, when it's at $7, when it's at $8, we were already telling you guys not to average down daily because there's literally we're entering spiral abyss when we are around $7. It will just go down. There's no point of averaging down. It's way better to look for a temporary bottom and set up a price point and just average on that point, right? I do think Sterling was gentle, trying to be helpful by answering your question. Yeah, Sterling is a nice guy. Just like sometimes, like, you know, our questions directly directed either to CFO or George, and if he comes out and answers that like sort of wrong, and we address that, it's just gonna make this sort of worse. ATM can be used as needed. The accounting process of the ATM is not as a need to sort of like whatever. It's fine. We don't really want to. You know what? If you really want an ATM video, go comment down below. And if you look at how many shares were outstanding on that day when they do the ATM offering, you want to know that we're telling the truth here. Clear question: if I'm holding call option at $3 expiring 8/20, is it time to cut my losses before they're worthless? New investors that have been murdered in the last couple of months. Well, here's the thing, right? So $3 expiration, which is next week. So when did you buy it? So then you have to calculate how much state of decay you already did. Okay. So you have to figure out how much state of decay you already accounted for the loss. At this point, if you know it's already half the price, what's the whole point, right? There's always going to be a green day next week. I mean, every week is going to be a green day. So on that green day, you probably just traded off that $3 call on, you know, with IV spikes, and then you can probably make some of your losses back. And I do not. Go watch our like call option tutorial video. We're gonna post out a lot of tutorial over the next few weeks, and we do not recommend. We say that again. We do not recommend beginner traders to play with A, margin. Do not ever just trade it on a cash account. You do not want to mess with margins. And B, do not trade options. It is very, very risky. Options are very, very risky. And for those of us just like me who have a gambling addiction, do not trade options, okay? Do not trade options. If you're new to the market, do not trade options. Give yourself some time to really get used to how the flow works. Bye, Uncle Smokey. Why don't George buy back more shares? Good question. See, this is golden question here again. If we are George, we see our companies as huge potential. If we were George, we would totally buy back shares, right? At $3, at $4 or whatever, and they have the money to do it too. Why don't they do it? Right? Why don't they? Why does he not do it? Right? And as we know that he also doesn't really give out a lot of like share basis, like option based employee compensation plan. Why is that? Like, is he really that scared of dilution? Is he really that scared of giving up like just a tiny percent of ownership? What is going on there, right? Uncle Peace out like 10 times already. No, we still love him now. Time to pamp it up. Get to the chopper. There's no chopper here, right? We're still waiting for the answer here. How long do you think it will take to get back to the $10 range again, or do you think squeeze is incoming? See, again, like it's really, we have accounted for variable cost right now. I mean, if there's no fraudulent activity, I can say in 6 years it could be a $30 stock, right? Because we have the data to support that in terms of like how the 5G rollout. Just make sure that George doesn't make any other rash decision of burning cash too much. Thank you, and yes, I got killed on the margin call with MMAT. I had done well with several other, was up 40% and down 17 a month. I will watch all I can of them ready. Yeah. Some of them are kind of long, so a lot of our viewers love to unpack some of the things we talk about, and we sort of, in those long videos, sometimes I ramble, and within those rambles, you can actually pick up trade ideas. Like, there are 2 viewers already did that, and they made about 35% over the past month. I mean, they also lost money in MMAT, but still, right? We're all like in the red right now in MMAT, and I'm pretty salty about it. In my 7 years of trading, this is the only year, this is the first year that I've ever seen red in my life. And this is the biggest red I've ever seen in my life too. Like, my Asian self, I'm literally like, I was thinking I would probably disown myself if I'm me from like 5 or 6 years ago. But yeah. Yeah, if you guys haven't met Eddie, I don't think he's in the chat right now, but yeah, Eddie is the most salty one. Number 2, should we end the stream right now? It's I think it's an hour. We'll check it. It's I think over an hour. Yeah, I think it's over an hour. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's over an hour now. We probably should just probably end it.
5 minutes. Last quick questions.
Yeah. So another 5 minutes in. Last quick questions. Any other questions? We'll take some last questions. It will be likely that George have funneled over 100 million to get into the space race game with Uncle Musk. That's funny. That's actually funny. Elon spent way more than 100 million in the space race. I was in Torch at 1.5 back in February because of dividend payout. I didn't even sell at 11. Now I feel stupid. Well, hey, we learn right as we go. Can Jimmy come out to play now? No. Jimmy is gone for one day. Jimmy is pretty sad today. Do you still play League? Yeah, sometimes when I'm super stressed. Or I have a good one, DD. Yeah, I have a good one. I think we're just gonna take some quick questions for the next 5 minutes, and we're probably gonna end stream around 8 our time, so in about 8 or 7 minutes. A little starter rocket. Yeah, 100 million probably will buy you like, the patents, maybe like some used rights to rockets, and probably like half a rocket. Like rocket costs a lot of money. I was gonna become a rocket scientist in college, but eventually I found abstraction too much of math work for me, so I didn't do it. I mean, again, I do think finance is the way to go, and I love what I do, and I love doing DD. In about 12 years or in about 13 years, I hopefully, I want to be a VC, a managing partner of a VC fund, and number 2, number 2, what do you want to do? In 12 years, what do you see yourself? Yeah, number 2, want to get into the real estate and do a lot of property management. So if you guys want to see, a lot of real estate content, we can also push that out because he is really knowledgeable in that part. For the private equity, VC, and the stock thing, you guys got me, and we're still figuring out what exact content do you guys really love. And we can't guarantee our content is gonna be super entertaining and short, but we can guarantee that there are a lot of information in our content. You really think your DD is right, just doesn't add up? What do you mean, what doesn't add up? You add up all the debt, it's less than 50 million. So now you're saying we have $150 million on hand, that 50 million paid all of the debt, and then that's it? So where's the disclosure, right? You need to disclose that. Every money transaction leaves a paper trail. Every paper trail leaves a money trail. Ever think about getting a CFA? Probably can take part 1 right now. I'm pretty prepared because I'm thinking about getting a Series 6 out of the way this year. I think George should focus more in a company than trying to be Elon on the social media. Yeah, he will never be Elon. Maybe if we manage him, he will be, but I don't think so. Peace out, bro. Thank you so always for what you do. Yeah, dude. Thank you so much for the support, dude. I'm tripping on what we got scammed. Not yet. You know, everything is innocent until proven guilty. Okay, so don't be too stressed out. Just go hug your wife and go find some hotties and just enjoy your life at this point. We don't have confirmation yet. What do we do when George doesn't answer the $100 million question? Hey, that is the $1 billion question, isn't it? So what are we gonna do? Hey guys, comment down below. Comment down below or in any of our videos, what are we gonna do if he doesn't answer the $100 million question? Like, do we just go full dark and go hit up SEC? I don't know what's gonna happen anyway. You think they're that incompetent, seriously? I've been doing consulting for big companies for years now, and let's just say a lot of CEOs, they are really good at certain stages of the business or operations, but in terms of the grander finance term, they are not as competent as you think they are. Yeah. I can call 4 CEOs, and pretty big CEOs, making profit CEOs on my phone right now. In other socials, even on LinkedIn, we do have connections that are CEO, also big company CEOs or whatever. Sterling stock already explained this, due diligence.
This guy needs to get out.
What?
The doomsday guy.
The doomsday guy, why else would he try to spread FUD unless he wants to short? I mean, hey, this is something that you have to decide, right? We already told you that we are a very factual channel. If you don't wanna...
If Sterling already pointed out, why is it still on?
Wait, what?
I said if Sterling already pointed out, why is it still on?
Yeah, dude. Doomsday clock. If Sterling already pointed out, why are you still on here, right? Click it off and just buy and hold, guys. Buy and hold. No? Buy and hold. Absolutely lovely. Buy and hold. 80% of flow. Let's go. Let's go, boys. You want to hear some rap? 80% flow. It's a pretty significant discrepancy. Yeah, it is a pretty significant discrepancy. Yeah, yeah. If you go look at past 10 years, even the track record isn't that great for MMAT Q2. Let's just put it that way. You guys will see a bunch of those DBs. Yeah, no, but we don't really want to post our social media though. You can reach us via Twitter or go to our Discord. We go to Discord and answer questions from time to time.
Alright,
yeah, I think this is it for the stream, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is for the stream. All right, I will try to just if any question we haven't answered, just ask them in the comment section, and we will try to get to that as quick as possible. We also have to post out another video that I have in mind, sort of make a summary of this or whatever, and make a price prediction of MMAT maybe. And we got some other stock to play with, guys. There are some other possibilities or things that related to the infrastructure bill that we can profit from. But hey, liquidities are tight, so good night, boys. See you guys on the upside.